There you are. Your mic is muted, bro. Oh, at least see. I can at least see you. So
Okay.
there we are.
I had you on mute there for a second while I was figuring that out.
Yeah. There we go.
All right. Holy cow. This has been a major pain in the ass. Elon Musk, you got to get your shit together, man.
Yeah, right. That's what I'm fucking saying.
This is this has not been easy.
Yeah. And hey, we got our first listener.
Hey, welcome.
Hello.
What do we got there? Illuminati.
Oh. It. You know, that's weird. That was the same person that listened in earlier.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I recognized it.
I think the Illuminati is watching us. They want to make sure we're behaving.
Oh, of
Well,
course. You know, making sure we're not strangling each other.
well, yeah. It was kind of touch and go there, getting this whole podcast set up. This is
Oh
Harry
yeah.
and I's first podcast, as well as their first time using Twitter Spaces. We try to test it out and be as professional as possible, but technical issues happen, and it just comes with the territory. But
Oh yeah.
how was your Fourth of July weekend, Harry? What'd you?
Well, you know, oddly enough, I worked, so I mean, it was kind of a. It wasn't really a good Fourth of July, knowing I had to work, so I didn't get to go see all the pretty explosions. Oh, sorry. Can you hear me?
Yeah,
Okay. Sorry, I had my phone down and didn't realize. So I hope you caught that.
yeah. You're out of the camera though.
Yeah, because I'm doing something. So hold on for a second. I'm gonna.
Okay, well, this is totally unprofessional, but we'll push on.
Unprofessional of me turning off my camera.
I mean, you're doing something while on a
I
podcast.
know, I know, I know. I was in the middle of something. There we go. How to get this on?
Okay.
Yeah. Are
All
we
right.
good
Well,
now?
yeah, you look good and professional wearing a button up.
Yes, yes. That's what I was doing. So I'm sorry.
It's all good. All right. So we had a number of topics we wanted to discuss this weekend. Just we're just gonna shoot the shit and see where this leads us. We have really no goal with this podcast. We kind of just want to sit down and shoot the breeze and hang out with y'all. Harry.
What's up?
Okay. So, well, let's get into our first topic. RFK Jr. So, I don't know if you've seen in recent news, Harry, but the press has been kind of attacking RFK Jr. Whether it's deserved or not is another thing. Um, all politicians they have skeletons in their closet, so it's no surprise, especially in a contentious presidential election. But there are rumors about RFK Jr. eating a dog. Uh, there's a photo of him holding up like a rib or a carcass of a cooked animal. Um, and he's also been accused by his former babysitter of sexual assault or sexual harassment.
Well,
Um,
hold up. Accused? Wait, accused by a babysitter?
Yeah, so I mean, he's got 6 kids. This was many years ago. I'm not sure exactly what year it was. I think it was late 90s. Could be totally wrong. But I think the babysitter was like 23 at the time, so it's uh, it's not any underage type stuff. But still, it's a serious allegation, and I did see an RFK interview where he would not comment on the matter specifically to that, but he did come out and talk about the dog eating allegations. He did address that. I mean, Harry, would you eat a dog?
Well, that's the thing. It's just like, aren't we technically allowed to eat exotic foods regardless of the animal? Like, that's the thing. It's just like him eating a cooked animal is just, it's just our in our nature, you know. I mean, and I get it. I mean, in our culture, we are supposed to use animals as emotional support, but if there's like certain areas of like countries or regions or wherever, it's just like, I mean, they got to eat something other than what we eat, you know. I think
Right.
it's just, it's more unethical, I guess, for us to see it that way, but it's like in certain culture, it's just like, I mean, the culture can view us. It's like people in India. I mean, people in India don't eat cows, but yeah, we eat cows. So when you really think about it, I mean, shouldn't we be punished by them?
Yeah, I mean, every every country and every culture has its own things that are a little bit weird to us.
Oh
Even
yeah.
in our own cultures, we kind of do some weird stuff too. Um, but yeah, I don't think I would eat a dog. You know, I I feel like if it's already cooked though, and it's just like street food, I don't think there's any harm in eating it.
Oh no, of course not.
But I got my own dog and I love her. But no, RFK Jr. He addressed those allegations and he kind of made a funny video of him cooking up steak and chicken for his own dogs. He has 2 or 3 dogs, and he said, "I'm giving them my own dinner."
Oh
And
my gosh.
he said, he said it wasn't a dog, and the media that put out that article, um, they had a cadaver expert look at the cooked meat and call it a dog, when RFK Jr. said it's actually goat. So that's pretty funny that
Yeah.
this so-called expert confused a dog for a goat.
Well, you got to keep in mind too. There's always these like influence that comes around saying like, "Oh yeah, you should probably throw dirt on this guy," thinking, "Oh, he's eating a dog," and it's that's not like unethical or something.
Right. It's not so serious that that would stop me from voting any candidate for president.
Exactly, and
I,
that's what the idea of the media is all about. It's just, it's us, the people, that has to decide whether or not if he's a good person or a bad person. So like him eating a dog, why should I care? Because it's like I said, it's just all culture based. Like, and you're right. Like, you don't want to eat a dog or whatever, and people don't want to eat goats and like all that. It's just like, it's part of our nature to try something new.
right. So I don't blame him. Even if he did eat the damn dog, I don't think it's too big of a deal. Uh,
Exactly.
were you able to watch any of the Trump Biden debate? I know you've been working a lot.
Yeah, not really, but like kind of been listening in on it on certain issues. That's pretty much it. But like you just said, like I've been working, so I could have been all over the place. So I only got bits and pieces of what I can gather up.
You didn't miss much. It was a very expected debate. It was kind of a shit show, and you kind of feel ashamed for the state of our country. and the upcoming election after watching.
Exactly.
I mean, these
All
guys
oh,
argued for 5 minutes about their golf game, who was better at golf. And I'm like, come on a national debate stage, you're going to argue about golf game?
yeah, exactly. Like why like this is a more nationality. That would just be me going up there talking about like just shooting the shit here, but like talking about the greatest video game. It's like, come on.
Yeah.
Yeah, video games do not address more of a nation issue than it does more personally topic based.
Right. So yeah, that was pretty interesting. I did like the one roast Trump had for Biden, uh, where Biden was just rambling at the end of a answer to a question, and Trump came back with, "I don't even think he knows what he just said."
Yeah.
I was like, man, that's reminded me of Trump when he burned Hillary, and he said, "Yeah, because you'd be in prison or something
Oh
like
yeah, that one I seen.
that."
That one I seen. That
uh,
was back in old 2015. I remember.
it's just so interesting to see our American culture. We were talking about that with dog eating, but how strange is this culture of the Trump derangement syndrome, if you will, where people, no matter if Trump donated all of his money to a great cause, somebody would find a reason to hate on it.
Really, the only speculations on that, and mainly this comes from an odd source. Usually, donations are mainly just tax cutoffs because usually when you donate, you don't pay into taxes, and that's usually like certain people's speculations on people who dislike Trump. And usually they would just say, oh, yeah, when you donate something, you think you're going to donate to a great cause. But the people who host those donations, I mean, if I'm not mistaken, I mean, you don't pay into taxes for them.
Yeah, you're right in a way. There's definitely a massive incentive for millionaires and billionaires to be philanthropists. One of those benefits is tax write-offs or tax deductions.
Hmm.
Um, but I just mean the derangement around Trump. It's like anything he does, if he breathes wrong, if he farts, people are going to write an article bashing him for it.
Yeah, so basically, he can't pick his nose without people bashing on it.
Yeah, you can't do anything without
Yeah,
being hated on. I'm not saying it's not deserved. He does bring a lot of that onto himself from his own personality and
exactly.
just his his word vomit, attacking other people, and he's pretty narcissistic. He's got that New York businessman vibe. Uh,
Yeah.
and it rubs a lot of people the wrong way. But yeah, he's certainly not making many friends out there.
Oh
Um,
yeah, for sure. I mean, it's just like with anything. It's just like with any sort of presidential like candidacy. It's just like they expect you to be more godlike, if you know what I mean. Like basically, just like you can't really like you gotta have a perfect background. Sorry.
oh
But
no, no one has a perfect background, and that's the thing about running for office is all of your skeletons in your closet will be exposed.
exactly.
The internet will do its thing, and they're gonna clobber you.
Yeah,
Uh,
exactly. Like you could have done something 15 years ago knowing, hey, yeah, I messed up that timeline, but like at the same time, it's just like that happened so long ago. It's just like why bring it to this issue now? Like you do realize the past is already the past. Like the past happened. It's not that big of a deal, and yet I guess people are just gonna look at it and say, well, I sure as heck ain't gonna vote for that guy.
yeah, I mean, and there are attacks against Biden as well for his past. Supposedly he supported a crime bill that targeted minorities, specifically blacks, and a lot of people have brought that up because
Hmm.
traditionally the Democrats have the black vote, but with someone like Biden, that can be used against him. Uh,
Right.
that's good ammunition for a big voter base for him. Um, but I mean, uh, it's not looking good with them two being our choices there. Um, well, it looks like Pride Month is over. That was all of June. Uh, did you go to any Pride festival, Harry?
No, no, I was too busy doing my own thing, Jackson.
I saw a little bit of the fiasco at the Pride festivals. Um,
I heard they could be a little. I heard they could be a tad wild. Like basically, some can be a little erratic.
right.
Yeah, if you like misspoke or keep yourself out of line or whatever, it's just like they'll just get you. They're oddly ruthless, but hey, I mean, we're human. I mean, there's certain parts of us that, yeah, there's certain parts of the human race that people are gonna be bound to be erratic and go
Yeah.
crazy and take and defend their own pride. Sorry.
And it's like anything, there are bad actors, rotten apples in every group. So, not there are a lot of things that weren't a good look for that Pride movement. But what group doesn't have those issues? Um,
Exactly. I mean,
I
like
mean, like
I would respect for who they are. I mean, I mean, I wouldn't go on a religious base or just anything from what like most influencers had for like past years. Like usually it's just like they would say like LGBT is bad and all that stuff. But that was like for years. But now it's just more like we're embracing it, and it's I'm like that's fine because I mean they're humans. We can't change who they are as a person. So
how about these Palestinian protesters shouting "Death to America," burning American flags, and ransacking college campuses?
again, there. I mean, people are a bit erratic because it's like why go through all the hassle just so you can influence? Because either it's all propaganda based, or this is all part of a scheme to think that Palestinians are bad people.
You
Because
know,
you don't know, like any pro-Palestinians can basically be good and try to do good, but like if they're displaying it, like going to college campuses, ransacking, or anything out of the ordinary, it's just like they're just gonna. That's how the media will blast them because they will think, okay, they're doing something bad, but yet we're gonna fund to Israel. So it just proves our point of our justified funds to go to Israel to help them. I mean, helping their aid.
why is it always white liberal women, young women specifically, that are protesting? It's like they've got this white guilt, if you will, where they feel the need to support liberal movements like Black Lives Matter, Gaza.
Um. Wow. Well, despite that, you and I ain't female. I mean,
Well, you can still have an
that one
opinion
is a
on the
bit that one's
matter.
a bit hard to tackle on because it's like I think females in general. I mean, that's the thing because I truly believe that females are allowed to have their own voices. I mean, females have been degraded for years, and it's just like they always feel like they're being left out and they just want to try something new, and that like I mean you're right. I mean, why are they acting this way? Like as most of the internets would say, would call them, would be Karens.
Yeah, they're baby Karens.
They're baby Karens
they're
acting
they're
erratic.
college age Karens.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, it's all genders and races, but specifically, I've noticed white women that are college aged or in their 20s, and it's just like there's a lot of things going on in the world that they don't seem to be upset about. It's only what the media tells them to be upset about,
Exactly. It's
like
just like,
Palestine.
oh, sorry. Thought you were done.
You know, where was all of this? Uh, where were all these protests when Yemen was being bombed, and it's the world's worst humanitarian crisis over there. It never got the media coverage it deserved, and
Mm-hmm.
people don't care if there's no media coverage. So it's a very interesting social experiment, I think,
Exactly.
how easily people can be influenced by what's on the news and what's on social media.
Exactly. I think basically how I see with the news and the media is just like basically they're just like the puppet master and they're just stringing up these young innocent women that are just, trying to have this positive atmosphere of their lives, and they think that every negative detail has to be the call of arms for them to go out and do something, thinking
Social
that
justice warriors.
exactly. Well, you see, that's the thing. It's just like they, and then they go crazy for that. It's just like there's nothing we can work around for what they believe in. And it's like anything bad I can understand. Like, sorry, but anything bad, it always just calls to arms into thinking, okay, I don't like that negativity. I should do something to make it good. So it's more, what's that word I'm looking for? It's doing more harm than good. Is that the word I'm looking for? Yeah. They're doing more harm than good.
Sure. I mean, it's important to bring attention to certain things going on in the world.
Mhm.
I mean, it's never good when people are dying and more. So I completely understand their frustration. Um,
Exactly.
and I just want to be clear: it's not just white women. It's just what I've noticed. People of all genders and races are protesting that war. But yeah, it's just interesting that that seems to be the target demographic of the media.
Right. Yeah, I think it's kind of crazy because it's like really it's just like you and I mean think of it this way. I mean you and I mean we don't like negative things, right? Like we don't want bad things to happen.
Well, what's interesting is I listened to this radio show based out of St. Louis, and they actually just got shut down, which kind of sucks. It used to be my daily listen for 3 hours in the mornings, but one of their co-hosts, he has his own Twitter, and he's noticed the algorithm changes when he covers the St. Louis Cardinals. And when the St. Louis Cardinals are winning, he gets barely any views. But when they're losing, people want to be negative, and he gets a lot more interaction because people like to be negative, actually, which is, kind of reverse of what you would think. You would think people would be happy for happy news, especially their own team. But they're
Exactly.
more active with negative news.
Exactly. It's just like they want to feed on more negativity than they do want on positivity. It's just like that's why they always say that good never truly triumphs at the end, because when good is always presented sorry.
Damn, you need to quit
Yeah,
smoking
I'm
them
sorry.
cigarettes.
Yeah.
Can't even talk.
Right, right. But no, basically it's just all about it's like I said, it's good never truly triumphs at the end. It's always the bad and the negative that just gets the upper hand. And no matter how many times you try to get rid of the negative, it just always comes back. It's like a cancer. It's like it doesn't it's never going to go away.
Well, it's like the yin and the yang, you know, black
Exactly.
and white, yin, yang. Um, if there's positivity, there's got to be negativity. You know how I always say, there is no pleasure without pain. Uh,
Exactly.
you've got to experience some pain to experience those highs.
Exactly.
So let's get into a more light topic. Let's talk about the gig economy. So I know you do DoorDash. You know anything else about the gig economy?
So I think the gig economy is a very profitable deal. I think, like, for instance, like Uber Eats, DoorDash, Postmates, I think is what's called, or any other variants of food delivery platforms. They serve a very good variety of opportunital jobs for people who are struggling to look for a job, or just kind of getting themselves out there, or people with a hard background can get a job. It's more of a way for people to just get on the platform and just knowing, hey, I'm gonna have a
And
lazy day.
supplement their income.
What's that?
Supplement their income.
Exactly.
I've had Uber drivers that work in tech and high paying jobs, but for whatever reason, they're door dashing or Ubering, just making a little bit of extra money. Maybe they're bored and they don't, want to go out to the bar or whatever, and just want to make a few extra bucks. I
Exactly.
mean,
It
I,
definitely
I
gets you out.
Yeah, and then like you said, there are also other people with some skill issues, skill gaps, where that's one of their limited jobs they can do for the time being.
Exactly. And I think it's a pretty good I think it's a pretty good service platform for all those variants of food deliveries, or third party drivers to take you out somewhere that you want to go. I mean, I think it's pretty good because, I mean, it gives everybody a chance. It basically, like, if you want food delivered, why not get Chinese delivered to you? Or
Hell, how about marijuana deliveries? I've looked into starting that business. If I could afford the license to deliver marijuana, I'd absolutely start that business.
oh yeah, for sure. But I mean, I think the only key issue is, like, so when I was introduced, when I came to see you, I that Go Puff one.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one was very interesting, that it can deliver alcohol, cigarettes, and all sort of vape products, and well, tobacco and alcohol products. And I think it's kind of crazy because it's like, see, it's stuff like that that could be acceptable, but, like, it can only depend on the area and where it's all based at. But the only issue is that if you do marijuana delivery, that's a lot to go through. I mean, you got to think, man. It's just like, for one, is that state recreational, or is it more, can it be possible? Because I thought of that too, and then it.
Well, I live in Florida, and medical is legal here, and some dispensaries do home delivery services, which I found pretty interesting because I figured you would have to have recreational uh, laws to be able to deliver, but
Mhm.
they must have special courier licenses or something to deliver the substance. Who knows where that is as far as federally legalizing weed. Um,
Yeah.
that's actually one thing I wanted Biden to get done. Uh, I definitely did not vote for Biden back in what was it 2020.
Yeah.
Um, but when he did get elected, I was like, good, at least he can get this done. But no, unfortunately. he couldn't get that done.
No.
That's one issue. That would be nice, not just for recreational users, but these people that have been put in prison and served some serious time for marijuana.
Oh yeah. Well, we could thank Ronald Reagan for that one when he declared war on drugs, and marijuana was like the big issue. And you see that was the thing. It was just like the whole thing was just blown out of proportion at the time, and then until years progressed, and then they started to realize like I think it was just an exaggeration. And it's just like imagine just always being afraid of something, but that something you were always afraid of became nothing.
Well, I'm not going to blame one president. How many presidents have we had since Reagan?
Right. Exactly.
Any one of them could have pushed for reform, but you know, it's still a Schedule One substance, I believe. I
Well,
did see,
I think they dubbed it down, didn't they? Or,
yeah, I did see something that they may lower it from Schedule One,
yeah.
but last I checked, it was federally a Schedule One drug. Jamie, can you look that up? I'm just kidding. That's a Joe Rogan reference. Yeah, so I was definitely looking into that marijuana delivery kind of gig. Um, I think that'd be an awesome idea. You know how pot smokers uh, they're stereotypically lazy and
Oh yeah.
you know
I would say we all been there.
they don't want to get off their fat attitude to go get some flour.
Exactly. And honestly, I don't blame them because it's like it's just like some would drive under the influence, and it's just like yeah, nobody wants to take that risk.
Have you ever driven under the influence of marijuana?
No. I've always been smart about it and just just relax at home and just write it out.
What are you playing with? I hear something.
Oh, sorry, it was this. Sorry, I didn't realize how loud it was.
Yeah, it's kind of loud.
My bad. So I was picking at something and didn't realize it was being loud.
Okay, so have you seen all these shark attacks going on?
Shark attacks?
Yeah.
uh, Specifically on what? I guess I never caught that.
Oh, apparently there's a number of shark attacks in Florida and Texas. I think in Texas, this one shark bit like four different people at the same beach.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's very interesting. I'm actually surprised because usually that's wow, that's something I vaguely would have not hear as much because it's like usually it's just like how is this becoming an issue now knowing it was always been that way for years.
Well, there are the conspiracy nuts out there saying this is all done on purpose.
Oh
So
my gosh. Yeah.
I know, right? I'm a conspiracy theorist, but even that's too far for me. Like, come
Yeah.
on now. Come up
Yeah,
with a better conspiracy than shark attacks being influenced by our government.
exactly. I like a good conspiracy. Like sometimes like and that's the thing, it's just like it's all about adding it up. It's just like you gotta think. It's just like, hasn't this happened before? Is the real question. Has this sort of incident happened? Because I mean, heck, people would go as far as saying birds aren't real.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
that
Yeah, you
that's
want to
an
talk about that?
interesting one.
What's that?
That's an interesting one. I mean, even I've seen that conspiracy on dating sites like Tinder and Hinge, uh, where girls will put that in their bio. They'll be like, "Birds aren't real." I'll be like, "Oh my gosh."
Yeah, they're somehow government civilian drones.
Yeah, I definitely don't agree with some of that, but I worked
Exactly.
for the government for a number of years in the Air Force, and also as a Department of Defense contractor, and I had a pretty high clearance, and I never saw anything about birds.
Yeah. But oh, you sure, man? Are you sure you didn't see a develop a herring or a whooping crane?
I can't confirm nor deny. No comment.
uh, I
Dude,
mean, I that it would be crazy to think that it's just like it's just it comes with a lot of questions. Like it has to add up to where you have to have the question in order to have the conclusion. Sorry. So that's why it always speculates on knowing what do you mean by that? How can you confirm that this is a real thing?
yeah, birds aren't real, dude.
I know, right? Jeez, I should probably watch out for every bird that flies by.
So, another thing, since we're cousins, why the hell did our ancestors settle in Ohio? Come on, you couldn't have gone any further west.
It's it just always ends up in a coincidental place. Let's put it that way. It always seems like why did our ancestors, could have gone to Florida or California or anywhere else? Like,
Texas, even. Jeez.
yeah, I know, right? It's just like our ancestors clearly. I mean, we obviously come from a German heritage background, but like at the same time, it's just like I don't know. It could have just been all opportunity based because you got to think like back like early, well, late 1800s, early 20th, yeah, 20th century type stuff. I mean, nobody could have known better to exactly what location they were going to land at because in our like yes, in our modern society, we think that Ohio is kind of a whacked out state, but at the time, nobody would have thought of that.
Yeah, I mean, it could have been where the wagon broke down, too, you know,
Exactly.
or they ran out of money, or, you know, who knows? But
Exactly.
I'm like, come on, man. I wish they would have gone further west. Um, you
That would
know,
have
I,
been awesome.
I haven't lived in Indiana since I moved out at 19, and I don't plan on moving back. I love you guys and I love to visit, but come on, there are better states out there.
Oh yeah, no, for sure. Actually, I've been developing this crazy idea, which I kind of want to do part timely, like every 3 months or so, just on the weekend, just go somewhere. Like I don't care where. Like actually, I was on the maps, like on my map app,
Hmm.
and I was just like scrolling around this more and then more domesticated areas within the country, well, within this country, and just see where it lands me. And it landed me somewhere in West Virginia, as a matter of fact.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen people throw a dart at a map and
That's
drive
what I
there.
would like to do. I would actually like to actually get the geographical map and throw a dart at it. I think that's awesome.
There you go.
I would
And
I
you
I
might
would
be
like to see that.
pleasantly surprised, or you could end up in Arkansas.
Hey, why not, dude? Actually,
I do love Arkansas, by the way. I lived there for 3 years. Had a hell of a time. The people there are awesome. And there's a lot of natural beauty there. They call it the natural state.
oh yeah, for sure. I mean, usually people would say, "Well, Arkansas is boring." It's just like, well, then it obviously tells me you don't go out the parks as much.
Yeah, I mean, when you and our other cousins came down to visit, we went to a state park, saw a waterfall, swam in it. It was pretty neat.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, I love it. It's just like there's so much nature around us. Like you just can't be isolated in one area most of your life. And that's what I love about people thinking that they can't afford certain vacations, which okay, I can understand when you want to think big outside the box, but like at the same time there's always cheaper alternatives to try something.
Yeah,
Like
you got to think outside the box. You
exactly.
you can go to Key West. You don't need to stay at a 5-star resort. You can fucking camp.
Oh yeah, for sure. like the one time you were in Greece. It's just like you didn't say. I mean, you didn't have much money, and yet you literally went to a very oh, how could I say that? It's
Cheap
more.
hostel.
Yeah. Oh, well, I was gonna say if it was still under the whole economy crash, like it's still under.
Oh, Greece economic crash.
Yeah.
They did have an economic crash. It was fairly cheap there. It was like €2, which is like $3 US,
Mm.
for a euro and fries, which is a whole meal for like $3, and it was really good. So that was awesome about Greece, and I mean, I went sailing around on a sailboat for a week for $700. Like,
That's awesome.
hell, you can't even get a hotel in the U.S. in a boring town for less than 700 for a week.
Exactly. I think that's kind of crazy because it's like um what was it? It's just like you could just go anywhere around the world and just always find cheaper alternatives. I mean, heck, I mean, I remember the one time that when I was flying with you and our other cousin, I mean, we went on the crappiest airline. I mean,
Wow.
wow,
Wow.
exactly. Which unexpectedly enough got bankrupt. Luckily enough, we were part of the involvement, which I
Yeah.
think it happened
Yeah.
like 3 years after.
We took that company down, man. Wow Airlines. They were based out of, I think, Iceland. They're a
Yes.
budget airline, and we got some. They were the cheapest tickets we could find for the time we were going to Europe. Uh, and yeah, we had like a 15-minute layover in Iceland. We barely made it to our connecting flight.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I remember how we just like darted from one terminal to another, and it was just like it was so crazy because it's like yeah, I mean each terminal was always different. Like
I think it was the middle of the night too. I just remember it being really dark and cold.
I think it was the morning because I
It
think
could have been it could have been the morning, but I know it was still dark out.
no, yeah, I don't know. I
I
just
think on the
remember.
way back for you guys, it might have been daytime, but on the way
Yes.
there, it was dark for sure.
Yeah.
Because I wanted to check out Iceland and see the ice, but I really didn't see much. I've heard it's a beautiful country though.
Oh yeah. I mean I heard it's definitely beautiful, but no, I think what was crazy though is it's like all airports, in my opinion, are kind of like oddly the same because it's like when I went to Indianapolis airport, I mean that one I kind of guided my own because it was just like when I went to other airports, somewhere aren't weren't that difficult. Some were definitely easy to get around and just knowing exactly where you need to go.
Yeah, I mean, small airports like Fort Lauderdale and Fort Wayne, they're easier for me to navigate than Chicago or Atlanta.
Exactly.
And you don't need to walk across the world to get to your next gate, like at the
Exactly.
big airports. Uh, I do like those escalator type tracks
Oh yeah,
where,
I definitely got on one of those. Those ones were actually pretty fun. I did like those.
yeah, if you guys haven't seen them, they don't actually go up. They just go horizontal, and it makes it's faster than walking,
It
and
really
you
is.
can
It's
rest
like
your
you
legs.
really don't take. It's just like you don't literally waste an energy nor running. It's just like you really are just walking at such a fast pace. Like you don't even know that you were speed walking. That's how fast they are.
Right.
Yeah,
Are you getting an echo, or is that just me?
is it coming from me?
I don't know. I don't hear it anymore.
Okay.
I heard it for a second. Must be the NSA spying on us.
Yeah, probably. Um,
The I saw there's a Wi-Fi router called the FBI surveillance van in my area, so they could be listening.
yeah,
But
it's
Yeah, as far as travel, my plan's always been to buy a sailboat and just real cheap sailboat and fix up what I need to fix up and just cruise around. Hopefully, my dog will become a cruising dog.
Yeah, I think it would just. I think it would be a little odd experience for your dog because obviously she never experienced a sailboat. And
Yeah, that is true. We did. My ex and I did take her out on the lake one time, and she was terrified of the boat engine. But that was because we were on a power boat. We were on a sailboat. I think
Mhm.
uh, I think she'd do a lot better on a sailboat where it's not this big scary rumbling engine.
Yeah, I get it.
She's got
I
to get her sea legs though, and I do too. Hopefully, I don't get seasick.
I was gonna say for the past times that we all been on boats and all that, like a pontoon. Pontoons can actually be a good defined example. Pontoons, I mean, can really be a good get big can be a good practice because it's like
I mean, any boat is better than no practice. So yeah,
exactly.
you're right. Maybe I'll learn to not throw the damn anchor in without it being tied to the boat.
Yeah,
No, that's a reference to a cousin's trip to the Lake of the Ozarks we had a few years ago. There may or may not have been heavy drinking involved, but I did toss an anchor into the lake and didn't realize it wasn't tied to the boat. And our cousin jumped in and saved the day and saved us a couple $100.
yeah. Yeah, I would have to admit that was pretty interesting because you know what? It's like any accidents like that. It's just like, you know, it's just it only takes one just to incite somebody.
Oh yeah, I mean, anytime you're out on the water, something's gonna fuck up, whether it's in your control or out of your control. Something bad
Exactly.
always happens on the water. It's just the nature of boating. You do your best to avoid those situations. Obviously, that was human error. But especially when you're on the open ocean, things
Exactly.
do go bad, and you just try to be as prepared as possible.
Exactly. I think it definitely helps to be more mindful in the future, I guess, but like at the same time, I mean we're human, so I mean we're definitely bound to have errors and it's just like we can't expect ourselves to be perfect through and through,
Oh yeah,
like that's why when I make mistakes like I don't allow them intentionally just to prove a point, but like it just comes naturally. And it's just like if people want to confront that mistake, like you gotta think it's just like what mistakes have you done in the past, and why are you trying to inflict it on me or
yeah.
anyone?
Or just don't take it personal and learn from the mistake and move on. I'm never going to make that mistake again, throwing an anchor
Exactly.
that's not tied to a boat. I'm going to make sure it's tied on now. you know?
Yeah, I mean, it's just like I understand. I mean, sometimes it's just like for your own accountability, it's just like you know what you need to fix. You know what you need to do, and it's just like you didn't do it under a person's influence, but like what's going to happen next time.
Exactly. So, that's a small lesson. I'm sure I'll make a ton of mistakes when I do buy the sailboat that I've been talking about. But that's the beauty of it. It's a journey for a reason.
Mhm. I definitely yeah, I mean that would be pretty cool to go sailing. I mean, for me I want to go basically more on land, just like get myself a camper or wherever, stay somewhere for a night or two at a somewhat decent hotel, knowing I'm not going to be paying like thousands of dollars out the ass. Oh, actually, or a Airbnb. I mean, they offer nice varieties of places to stay for a very cheap night, just
You know, I,
depending on
I, I
where you
saw
go.
I saw a meme today shitting on Airbnbs. It said spend $250 a night for both an Airbnb and hotel, but with an Airbnb, the host expects you to throw the dirty laundry in the wash and all this, all these unreasonable expectations, and then like a $600 cleaning fee. It is what it is. Airbnb used to be a good deal. Back when it was new. But I think these hosts have gotten greedy, as well as the the application itself uh, taking money from these hosts. So these hosts have to charge more to get what they were getting before. So
Exactly. So they have
and
to. So they have to do something to regain. I mean, to gain a profit, because you gotta think too. I mean, these Airbnbs. I mean, they're actually houses, and what comes in a house comes with equity. I mean, they still got to pay a loan, and they still got to expect. Well, yeah, they would buy the property, and they would expect it to rent it out to somebody. So they still have to find a way to, in order to make a profit. So
right.
that's why when you think like, yeah, they're being greedy, I mean, you gotta think of all the expenses that they have to go through. And also, I mean, you don't want to break even through and through, because it's like, what's the point?
All that's their own damn fault, you know. I'm not doing Airbnb.
Exactly. Or try something else. I mean, I don't know. I mean, there's Verbo, there's that obviously, but like, I mean, it's to each his own. I mean,
I guess this goes back to the gig economy. Airbnb. I don't hate on them. It's capitalism.
oh
Make your
yeah,
money where you
sure.
can. Pay your bills however you have to pay them legally,
Oh yeah, for sure.
preferably. But yeah, it is what it is, and I'd almost rather stay in a hotel than an Airbnb now,
Yeah,
unless
because at least with the
unless with
hotel, they can keep it clean.
yeah, unless you're with a large group of people, then that's a little bit different.
Exactly. So if you're doing solo, then I say, why not?
Yeah, I mean, I took a road trip up through the Upper Peninsula of Michigan, and I stayed in Airbnbs the whole time, and it was a better experience for that. On a solo workcation trip, I just kind of want to get out in the wild, get away from society, and that was the perfect way to do it. Just get a cabin in the middle of nowhere. I think it was like 20 minutes to the closest food or restaurant or gas station. So I was definitely in the middle of nowhere, and uh, I'd encourage you to do that yourself.
Oh yeah, no, actually, your idea did inspire me to think of a location I could just go on my own, because I did think of something. I definitely been wanting to go to Moab, Utah for quite some time.
To
Fly
go
there
see
by
my ex,
myself, stay there by myself, just experience the whole Western Front.
to
Oh
go
yeah.
see my ex.
Oh yeah. No. No, definitely just be out there for the Rockies, man. No one to see particularly.
Yeah,
Nope.
it's pretty nice out there. I've never been to Utah, but I've been to Arizona and California. Uh, Definitely beautiful out west. I'd eventually like to get out there, maybe when I'm older. Uh, but while I'm young, I kind of want to do the sailing thing, and uh, it requires more physical stamina and know-how when you're younger for sailing than RV camping. But
Oh
yeah,
yeah, for sure.
there's plenty of the world left for me to explore.
I mean, United States, I mean, like United States alone, I mean,
Oh, hello, hello.
okay. Hello?
Hello? Hello?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes. Can you hear me?
think your mic's off. Okay, there you are. Sorry about that.
Hello? Can you
I
hear?
definitely hit left by accident. I was charging my phone and
Oh yeah. You know what? I need to plug my phone in myself.
yeah, so that's why I was kind of awkwardly like leaning on my side. So I do apologize if that looks bad on video.
That is strange. Can you hear me?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah. I think I found the source of the echo. For some reason, my phone won't mute. See.
Actually, you know what I was thinking, Jackson?
Yo.
I did. I was
Yeah.
thinking part of my first very trip, but like just doing a solo random trip, was actually go to Knightstown, where that film, The Hoosier, was filmed at.
Emma, come here. Okay.
Did you catch what I said?
No, what'd you say?
I said my very first random trip that I actually wanted to go to, just on thought, is go to Knightstown, Indiana, where the film The Hoosier was filmed at.
Right.
That would actually be pretty cool to see the gymnasium, because for some reason, there's something about high school gymnasium that it just has old history of like we came this far back, and I definitely would like to see more of it.
Sorry, guys. I'm trying to get my room situated here. Sorry, Emma.
Don't worry, we're having a technical issue here.
Yeah. All right. All right. I'll be back in. Let's break for 5.
All right, sounds good.
All right, I am back.
Welcome back, sir.
Oh, give me a second here. Is there an echo there, or is that just me?
I don't hear nothing.
Okay. Good enough for me.
Yeah, that's the only pain in the ass thing about echoes, because it's like if you can
Oh,
hear
it's
your own
echoing?
voice, it's just like you can't think.
Is it echoing now?
No, well, I'm just saying like that. I'm saying the only cons about echoing, because it's like for me, every time I hear an echo coming from my own voice, I can't think straight.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if that's more
God
of my
damn, mother.
disability issue or.
I mean, I got disability issues myself, so.
Well, I just want to know if that's just common, because it's like if it echoes and you can hear
Yeah,
your own voice.
it can definitely disturb someone's concentration. Some people are better than others at fighting through that.
Oh yeah,
I'm
sure.
certainly not good at that, but yeah.
Yeah.
Are you there? I don't see
Yeah,
you.
yeah. Well, because I don't have because I left on accident, so I don't have the co-host perm.
Oh, give me a second.
Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of weird because every time, like every time I leave, I don't. It's not permanent. Sorry, I'll get my camera on shortly. I don't see you.
Really?
Yeah, is your camera off too?
No, it's on.
Yeah. Oh, it's doing it again.
Okay, how about now?
Nope. I think it's permanently damaged every time. Oh, I think it will.
Fucking Elon Musk needs to get its shit together, is what needs to happen.
It's weird. It's going to show up on recording, I guarantee it, because when we were having that technical issue of getting the camera on, it literally shows it at the end.
Oh, you saw it on camera?
Yeah, like, when we were having that difficulty with the camera,
Well, I can see you now. Can you see me?
I can't see me.
I can see you.
I can't. Wow. Yeah, I know. I'm looking like a sexy walrus over here.
Yeah, your hair is coming in thick. I'm
Yeah, I definitely,
uh
definitely need a. I think it's time to get this old dome to be shaved.
my buddy the other day said I'm looking more Mexican as I get older.
Hey, I mean, why not, dude? I mean, you're standing out more like a '70s to '80s Latino style.
Yeah, or just someone who doesn't give a shit.
Exactly. I mean, for me, it's just like I have this scruffy ass beard, and it's like I don't mind it at times, but like when you're eating, it's just like sometimes it just comes to that conclusion. It's like, yep, I'm ready.
I
Oh
think
gosh.
I think you'd look cool with the Fu Manchu uh
You know,
mustache.
I you know, I tried thinking on that for quite a while, but like at the same time, it looks weird.
Yeah, it'd be pretty fucking hilarious. I
Oh
think you
yeah,
should
for
do it.
sure. I mean, I no, I definitely would try to go with that look, but like every time I look at someone else with the full man shoe, it almost looks way western. Like you're one of those like villainous western people that were always committing crimes and all that.
Right. Well, do you have any hot takes today? Um, anything that grinds your gears that maybe it doesn't grind other people's gears as much?
Mm, not that I could think of.
Mm, okay. Well, I did hear that there's a KKK presence there in your town. Mind expanding on that?
um, so, so I can definitely confirm that at one point, yes, there was KKK presence, and I guarantee there is modern day KKK. Which I mean, heck, where else could you go that's more what's the word I'm looking for that wouldn't offend anyone in the South or
Hoosiers.
yeah.
A Hoosier is a redneck, so
Or yeah,
same thing.
I was gonna say redneck, but I didn't want to use that in a term that sounds offensive. But yeah, in more redneck territories. But yeah, it definitely so I would say back in early 2000s, late 90s to early 2000s, it definitely where I'm at definitely had some bad history. I would say I mean, like I said, I mean there's always a certain group that aren't getting acknowledged nowadays like they did back then because it's like no one they're not seeing them as a threat as they would, if you know what I mean.
Right.
Yeah, so like all they are at this point, they're just all bark and they don't bite.
Yeah, it is what it is. I just thought that was funny. I thought he'd give you shit for that one.
Yeah, I would have to admit, I knew this was gonna come because I mean, like I said, I mean, he definitely had some. It definitely had some hilarious history behind it. That's for sure. I mean, the guy that was like a grand wizard. I mean, he became a meme. Well, that was at the time
It
where,
became a meme?
yeah, like, well,
Really?
oh yeah, like there was this one particular video which I want to repeat what he said, but yeah, people would definitely use that video towards more in a toxic environment and just career
Wow.
suicide someone and just use it just ruthlessly.
Damn, I didn't know it was that serious. Wow.
Oh yeah, no, so there's yeah, no, people are there. No, there's some people out in this world that they just don't give an absolute shit. Like they just don't care. Like I can understand that in the internet you don't have much of a consequence. But like if you don't got much to do and you just want to decide, oh yeah, I'm just gonna, pull this up on someone else's live stream or whatever, and it's just like, why ruin someone else's career over a video or whatever?
All right, so we're gonna do a little bit of trivia.
Okay.
How do you feel about trivia?
I'm not that
Is that
necessarily good at them, but I will try to put my best at it.
okay, Harry? So I've been getting into Da Vinci. I've been getting into uh, all those geniuses back in the 1500s of Europe.
Oh yeah.
I forget the other guy. It's not Da Vinci.
Like
It's
like Leonardo da Vinci or
yeah. Oh, Michelangelo.
Michelangelo. Yeah.
Yeah, the Ninja Turtle.
Yes.
Um, so my first trivia question for you is Leonardo da Vinci's Mona Lisa hangs in what museum?
Ooh.
You did disappear from camera.
Yeah.
Oh, there you are.
Mona Lisa.
I can hear you typing.
I know. I'm not gonna lie. I actually was halfway cheating. I didn't confirm it.
Oh, it's not that serious.
I know. Is it somewhere in France?
Yeah, it's in Paris.
Paris. Okay. Whew.
Do you know the name of the museum there?
No, I do not.
The Louvre.
The Louvre.
Yeah.
Oh.
All right.
I love
So,
history, but usually there's certain histories I try to cut out.
all right. Kenny, according to Guinness World Records, what's the best-selling book of all time?
The best-selling book of all time.
Yep.
Well, despite I am not a bookworm. Um,
You've read this book, or at least parts of it,
Harry Potter.
specifically on Sunday.
Oh, the Bible.
There you go. Ding, ding, ding.
I was gonna say Harry Potter or the Bible.
Um,
Thank you, thank you.
I'm not able to hear that. That's interesting.
No, I heard it.
Okay. What is the only food that can never go bad?
Mm, the food that cannot go bad. The food, rice.
Think of bees.
Oh, honey.
Yep.
Really?
Yeah. I just learned that a few months ago.
Wow, that is a very interesting fact. I did not know that. Oh crap!
Okay. So,
I have my head on.
What?
Sorry, I looked awkward and realized that you could see me, and I can't see myself. So didn't realize I had my head on the pillow, and you're able to see me.
Oh yeah, that's goofy.
Yeah, my bad.
What 1997 movie features Will Smith and Tommy Lee Jones as undercover secret agents who police extraterrestrials?
Oh, that's super easy. That would be Men in Black. Yeah, gang gang. Uh, that's you. That's you in St. Louis every time something bad happens outside your apartment.
Oh man, that place was a shit show. Um, it was weekly shootings that I could hear, sometimes nightly in the summers. Uh, you know, speaking of police reform, they need that there. They need to pay their police or something. Get
Yeah,
some talented police there. They need them.
exactly. I've definitely seen behavior issues behavioral issues from certain police officers. I don't think it's just the department that's like necessarily, not doing that on purpose. It's just more like no, yeah, it's just more by accident. Like I've definitely seen videos where certain officers don't handle situations very well, and honestly, like I don't understand like why they have to bash their anger out on the department just for them accidentally hiring a shitty cop.
Right.
It's just like imagine you being a shitty worker, what would you do?
I mean, typically shitty workers get fired, right?
Exactly. But like at the same time, like not somebody on that work floor shouldn't take out on the company thinking, well, he was a good worker.